Black Friday may have passed us a week ago, but no one was going to expect Brock Friday to come and hit us right in the face. Welcome to the Smack Attack. James McIver alongside my partner in crime, John Enright. I didn't want to do a long intro. I usually just drag out a little bit, but I think it's nice that we just get stuck into it. How are we doing this afternoon? How are we doing? Doing well?
Doing well. It's a Saturday. It's so this weekend is a big Saturday for our community where we have they have Christmas at the Square where like all these shops are open. You can come check out stuff. We have a thing going on like starting from at 9 o'clock till 5 today where people get pictures with Cowboy Santa. So it's Santa with a cowboy hat and boots.
Boy Santa.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. And dude, I'm telling you, like last year, there were so many people. There was at least, I think they said 300 to 400 people that came and got pictures with Santa, but we have llamas there too. So like there's all this whole thing. And so I'm working from 1 to 5 to kind of finish the day at the fundraiser. Then there's a wassail walk downtown. Then they have a parade and they light the main tree at the court in the downtown square. Then there's a jingle ball after that. I mean, dude, it's so much stuff that goes on today, just in the downtown area here, which, by the way, my office is like down the street from all this too. So it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a fun day. So, and then like the fact that this is a cool fundraiser for our program to really, help people, help continue to help people. So, it's going to be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it that we get to all hang out. And then I'll get to show off my new whip. I got a new ride.
It's a whip and a half, by the way. You showed me it last night.
Yeah. So yesterday I got a Hyundai Santa Cruz. They call it Stone Blue. And so it's my first new car. So like the way I explained it is like, so my other car was 10 years old and then the Hyundai Sonata, and it kind of needed, it was at the point where if the repairs were going to be more than the cost of the value of the car. So it was time to kind of trade it in. And I was looking at the mini truck, kind of Ford Maverick Santa Cruz, found this one, finally got it. And so, but like when I bought my Sonata, it was used, and I had bought used cars before that. So like my first like brand new car like that, this is my first brand new car in about probably 20 years, So, so like basically when I graduated college and came to seminary, I got a new car because my parents were like, hey, you saved us some money. We had some money left over. We got you a new car so you can go to seminary. And I was like, okay, cool. Thanks. And that was a brand new car. After that, I traded in. I always pay cash for my cars. So I would just trade in the car for a used car or another used car, usually not too far off the year model or whatever. So like my Sonata was a 2011. It was towards the end of 2011 when I bought it. So like, it only had a couple thousand miles on it. So it was, just worked out for me to grab that car when I did. Yeah. And so, and it worked, Hyundai's got a 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. So the engine and transmission are covered for 100,000 miles or 10 years, 6 years, 60,000 bumper to bumper. And for the first 3 years or 36,000 miles, they cover all oil changes and tire rotations.
So, that's ace. So you're total like set for ages then.
Yeah.
I don't know what 30,000 miles over your way is like, but that's like years for us over here. So
I mean, it's Texas, so it's different. You got to drive a little bit to go places, but that's I usually hit the mileage. I usually hit the years before I hit the mileage. So that's kind of how I roll with mine. So
that's
because I mean I'm not like driving across the Metroplex all the time. I'm just usually in my community running around doing stuff and then driving to Tyler to go see my parents, which is 300 miles. So, it's definitely interesting and different. I just want a truck. I want to be able to start hauling stuff again and, grabbing stuff, especially for work. Cause sometimes they're like, hey, can you go grab this? I'm like, I can't, I don't have a truck. So now I got it's a 4-foot bed. It's got a, tonneau cover. It's got the in-bed storage. It's waterproof. So you can throw ice and drinks in there and run around town with a nice cold beverage in the back of your truck and then pull the plug to let the water out. I'm
there for that. I'm here for that. I want to car like that.
Yeah, so so it's a lot of people are comparing it to the Subaru Brat, so it's kind of that idea if it's a it's kind of an El Camino-ish kind of car. But it's on Hyundai's Tucson's chassis, so it's a unibody chassis. So you're getting a smooth ride. It rides like a dream, but you're still getting the functionality of a truck in that aspect. And so, and then the Ford Maverick is kind of the same idea. It's a Ford Explorer chassis, unibody design. But
was the Maverick the one that you could get the bike with it as well if you wanted?
No, that's the Tesla Cybertruck. Yeah, they have that you could get with that. But no, Ford's is the one that it started off here in the United States as $19,000, and you could get with a hybrid engine, base model if you wanted. I don't know why you would want a hybrid engine. It's kind of shit, but
I vaguely remember it was like a truck that done it. I thought it was a Ford, but it was like years and years ago. This was like 2008, 2009. It was like I was on Top Gear when like Clarkson and all that were still doing. It was massive. Absolutely. That's the other thing is like I would be like I'd love one of those, but I know it wouldn't fit in our roads. It'd be like it's like they're pretty wide. They're pretty big as well.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I love a good motor. I love good motors when you get them.
Yeah, no, I mean it's that's the like when the Ford F-150s are the most sold truck in the world. I mean here in Texas you see that. I mean it's all over. I mean, but that's truck culture, and I mean especially out here. Half the people out here are on ranches or on farms and stuff like that. So you need a truck to haul hay or, get stuff what you need to for your ranch. Go grab post for whatever. So like if you don't have a truck out here, it's kind of like, how are you surviving? Especially if you live like on a ranch or something, it's just, it's mandatory. I mean, and kind of Texas culture in general too. Cause I mean, a lot of people. So, nobody, what's up?
Congratulations, nobody worth remembering. You are certainly worth remembering, my friend. Good evening.
You were the first one.
First comment of the day. God, I was getting worried. 7 minutes into the show with no comments. I was getting a bit worried there, John. I thought it was all over.
He was kind of getting the bitches like, hey, man, you got any of those comments over there? You got any of those comments over there?
I miss my friend. I know I've not been around for a couple of weeks, but I thought, oh, man, I'm paying the price here. Damn it. Anyone who didn't listen to last week's show, if you didn't manage to get a hold of it, Storm Arwen took out Scotland for a while. Aberdeen's still out.
Really?
There's areas of Aberdeen that are still like no power, no gas. It's gone.
Holy cow.
I think it's like 1,000 homes or something like that. I was driving back from Glasgow yesterday, and it was like, holy shit. Although the bright side is, you can claim, I think it's like £150 a day if you're still fucked.
Really?
And you can claim that. Yeah, you're getting that from the energy companies. So if you're like still no lights, I'm like, part of me's looking at Christmas in 3 weeks and be like,
right,
I lived there and I'm getting 150 quid. I'd love it. I'd tough it out. Fuck it, just don't fix it for like 2 weeks, and then have like easily $2,000 in the bank, ready to go. I was like, I'll do that. I'd love to do that. It's if you hit the chat, so I had to restart a few times. Have we hit the chat? I don't know if we get. Hang on, let me see if I get this up. Now I'm sure. Now we've got the live chat going. It won't be anything on my end. I think it's YouTube being bastards. Yeah. I had to do that sometimes, but so Aberdeen's out. So Storm Arwen kind of took hold. So we're in positions where power was kind of cutting, or Wi-Fi signals were going, and things like that. There wasn't really any consistency until we hit record.
Right.
Fine.
And then we went the whole time and recorded
absolutely fine. So then I had to go and edit a video up of this for a Channel Attitude. So because I thought we were getting away with just doing the audio, but turns out not.
Oh no! When the big boss calls you in the middle of the night and says,
"You got to do it. You got to set in the studio." Morning, Elizabeth. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for joining the chat. I will tease it now. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to tease it. We've got a big announcement coming up. So you guys in the chat, stick around. Stick around. It's a big announcement. You're all going to be. You're going to love it. I hope you love it. I hope it pans out. But it's a big announcement we're going to do for that there. To go on top of the Christmas special, we're going in a few weeks' time as well. Mm-hmm. How can I forget about Christmas? I'm looking forward to it already. Yeah. I'm sitting down with my work schedule and then trying to find spaces in my week to make this happen. I've got some messages to send, and hopefully I get some yeses. If not, it could be just two of us again, just talking Christmas. Although I feel like we've got to come back to that. I'm not gonna let the Die Hard thing settle. I'm not having it.
Okay.
I'm not letting that settle. Not a chance. That's getting addressed again at some point. I'm a fucking diehard, not a Christmas film. What planet are you on, man?
Yeah. Planet Earth, rational. I mean, I had this discussion with somebody last night, and they were like, "Oh wow, okay, I can see your points. No, that's actually pretty valid." So
how? Who is this person?
Just saying.
They're not a believer. They don't understand. They're too simple.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, I'm going to get myself heated again. I've already had an argument with one person over stuff today. I'm not having another. But SmackDown, not bad considering like the past few weeks it's been terrible. And then yes, Elizabeth, yes, it is 100% a Christmas movie.
I was going to ask you on a date, Elizabeth, but no, you killed it. Sorry, too bad. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. Love connection.
That's filmist.
That is filmist.
Oh, come on.
I am filmist.
But SmackDown was all right considering. Past 2 weeks haven't been that great at all. But I thought this SmackDown sort of came back around a little bit. We had a couple of good matches. Not all of them were great, but we had some couple good matches. A good story for the show all the way through. It made sense. All the things that happened made sense. Holy shit. Well, apart from the Viking Raiders match, but
But why is it that all they did was add Brock Lesnar, and it
seemed to just go shoot?
Yeah,
came together.
I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand. Like, what is it? Like, oh shit, we need to bring Brock Lesnar back, and then they put in that one piece, and everything kind of went together all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It was like. Okay, and I'm not going to lie to you. I loved this open. It was great.
So well done.
So good.
And you could tell he was having fun with it as well.
Oh, yeah. No, he was, like, it was almost that same level of Heath, Heath, like, I got kids kind of thing. Like, that kind of same level. I loved this, like the promo, and he's coming out talking, and then Sami Zayn having the balls to walk out, bro, and then just watching that interaction, and Brock being like, "Yeah, man, I'm a fan. All right, you should wrestle Roman.
You should do it tonight.
No, day one. I'm not ready. No, you should wrestle tonight. I can see it now, kid. Like the way he calls him kid. He's got him by the like right here, and in the lights. Sami Zayn, like the whole.
That's how he told him as well. That little bit of like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it no? It was the main event segment where it was like. It was the first one. It was like, oh, you're coming. You're crowding me a little bit, but okay.
Yeah. You're an opposing guy. Okay, but you're okay.
It was like when it was like you're kind of crowding me, but oh wait, no, I didn't mean to touch you. No, I'm sorry. No, before you did it, he's just brushed his hand over. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I mean, he's just getting coerced into like having this match because it's like Brock seems so nice, but then also threatening at the same time.
Yes, that was.
Where did this come from?
The way he rode that line of just like, you figure at some point he's gonna snap, and he is going to absolutely destroy Sami Zayn, but he never does. Like he would make that turn where you think he's about to whip the shit out of him, and then he's like, hey, you know what, man? Now I'm a fan. Like when he said that, I was like, and they're talking about the conspiracy stuff and like all that kind of stuff, But then it was hilarious though too. He goes, man, I live in Saskatchewan. I kill things, I mean, and he's like crowding Sammy that way and says, I kill things, and like I was just like, oh shit, like it was. Oh my god,
it was so funny.
It was great. I mean but like that's the Brock Lesnar I want. That's that imposing, just like figure in the background. Just you never know where he's gonna strike. He's gonna be this, like he literally was the beast incarnate, and I love this mind game Brock. Like he's mind gaming Roman and Sammy, and like
that's what I loved about it as well. Is that you know exactly what the game like. Sometimes you watch wrestling and you don't like to know what's coming up next. You don't want to work it out. Right. But this is what made it so good for me. It was like you knew the game plan from the off. He didn't say it. He didn't make any. You just knew. It's like Brock's wanting Zayn out of the way. let's just get that hurdle out the road, and then there's no distractions. Roman Reigns in front of him. Yeah. You knew the score before you even said a word.
Right.
And then you just see it play out. And you're like, oh my god, You just like go, no.
It was so good. Hey, Sonic, what's up? Good to see you, my brother.
What happened, my man?
Yeah.
Stick around for the big announcement in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to tease the crap out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so smartly done. And
yeah,
as you say, like a loose Brock Lesnar is a good Brock Lesnar as well.
Yeah.
Like that's what it got, like remnants of the Money in the Bank stuff. You know, when he had the briefcase, started dancing.
Yeah. And somebody said the R-Truth interaction, you know, like when him and oh my gosh, that was so good. Elizabeth, that was so good. You know, I mean, there was just a lot I like when he made an appearance on the screen tonight, it made it that much better. Mm-hmm. You know, and I love the fact that they basically started the show and ended the show with him because it made it like that good. And like Sonic had said, I mean, even the fact that like Adam Pearce was like, "Fuck this, I'm not showing up." You know, essentially he told Sonya Deville, "Fuck that, I'm not showing up. I'm gonna remember the Alamo." You know, like fuck.
Yeah. Hang on, I need to ask about this because it didn't really make sense to me. What does that even mean? Is it just like bail?
No, and that's the funny part where it's like what the fuck is Adam? No, the whole.
I thought the Alamo was like you were there. The folk were there for days.
They were, and it was like you. So you had 200 people who were at the Alamo fighting Santa Ana in the hopes they were going to lose. But the idea was to hold up Santa Ana long enough so that the Texans could get away and be able to regroup and fight another battle. So like Davy Crockett and all those 200 guys basically knew they were fucked, but said, "Screw this, fuck you, Santa Ana. We are going to hold this ground and we're going to make you fight for every inch of it, and we're going to fight to the last man because we got to hold up for the army to come back and whip the shit out of you." You know,
so that doesn't quite sound like Adam Pearce there.
Yeah. So which is the opposite of Adam Pearce. And so the battle cry from this point forward after was "Remember the Alamo," because when you would go up against Mexico, it'd be like, "Fuck those guys. Remember what they did to our guys at the Alamo." So it's like, "Fuck you. We're coming after you." And so the fact that Adam Pearce said that, I'm going,
wait a minute. So because like he got done in by Brock Lesnar, his mantra has been "Remember the Alamo," and rather than like get him back for it, he ran away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
fucking hell.
The fuck? That is the opposite of the whole phrase. It's the complete also. Yeah, you know, so
that is so funny.
Yeah,
it's so even like that makes Sonya Deville's reaction so much better. Or just like, "Remember the Alamo? What the fuck are you talking about? Cheers, pal. Thanks for bailing on me, mate."
Yeah,
so kind of you.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
it was just. I mean, but yeah, like that opening segment was great. I mean, and I'm gonna be honest with you. This is why I put Pat McAfee's a national treasure. He made this night. His commentary on everything tonight was amazing. When we get to the tag match later, I mean, there was just so much that he added to this show with the little comments, nuances, and just the energy that he brings to the show. That, like, really, when you compare Michael Cole and him, I mean, it's opposites and it works. You know, it's almost that JR. I'm not going to say that it is, but it's almost that JR King kind of level where, JR is the straight babyface and King is kind of the wild, card over here, and JR is the professional. It's almost that same dynamic a little bit, which makes that so much fun. So,
I think the difference is Michael Cole's not reining him in.
No,
he's very much letting him go.
Right.
So he gets the line. He's in the middle line, and then just you've got McAfee like all over the shop, just kind of doing his thing. And I think that's what makes it fun.
Yeah,
you can kind of there's a bit of life to it.
Yeah,
up there back and forth. So, I love what he's all about on that one. There. It was good fun. I liked how his reaction to Madcap Moss as well.
Oh yeah,
he's just burst out laughing. It's like they just keep getting worse.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not laughing at the joke. He's just like, "Oh my god, what are we doing?" But you need that. You need a bit of liveliness and honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he plays it up a little bit, but then there's some bits where he comes to life, and you need that. So when you're a viewer, you can relate because you can have those moments where you shake, "Fucking that's terrible," and then when he says that, he's all the same. Happening, Lab Rat. Interesting comment. Cafe. No idea what that means. Thanks for joining us. So absolute pleasure having you on the
Yep.
chat there. But that opening segment set the nice tone, and then we got an all right match to follow up with that. Shayna Baszler and Sasha Banks, which was a bit of a surprise.
They're giving this. I noticed that they're really focusing on the submission magician is what they're calling her now. Like this is her new bit. Instead of the Queen of Spades.
It's better. I prefer Queen of Spades, but
I do as well. But they really hammer this submission magician kind of nomenclature, and but like at the same time, it's like we got a package for Shayna Baszler. It's like, are you trying to say we don't know who Shayna Baszler is? Like, I was kind of confused by this a little bit because it's like we know who Shayna Baszler is. Why is she getting a package if she's never been on the show before? She's been on the show for a little bit.
She's been on ever since the draft.
Yeah,
every episode.
Yeah,
she's done stuff.
So why is it right now we're getting a package and she's the submission magician and and I'm like going. So that was the only thing kind of put me off. But then, I know there was a whole, this match happened because of what happened last week with Naomi and, of course, Sonya Deville and her reign of terror, if you want to call it that. So Lab Rat, if that's her NXT gimmick, I didn't know that. I don't watch NXT. I don't watch Raw. I
never knew that was like her NXT gimmick. I knew she did the Queen Spades thing. I didn't know that the submission magician was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Elizabeth says they've been calling her that even in NXT, but they go in and out with it. All right.
Cool. So this is them like leaning in it rather than just having it as a sort of like, how like.
Okay. Well, here's why. Because I can imagine because you now have what's her face, who's the queen from the Queen of the Ring kind of thing.
So
they're maybe trying to separate that Queen of Spades nomenclature to kind of focus on that, so they can not have that kind of stuff.
Keep that as Queen Vega or like Charlotte Flair being the queen of
right. And I mean, here's my problem with Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is a legit badass. And why is she not just running roughshod? Like it's Sasha Banks. I mean, the size difference between those two is just ridiculous. There's, I had a hard time watching this match. Like I can see Shayna Baszler and Charlotte Flair and that be a match, and that be something, like worth watching. But this was just like, why is Sasha Banks going over on Shayna Baszler?
Yeah, like I kind of like there was a point where I thought they were going to do the cover was when she had the Karafuda clutch in.
Right.
And then we did the Bret Hart thing where she rolled over and had the pin. I was like, perfect time to end the match. But then they had to add like an extra few steps to where Sasha Banks could do like the Hurricane Rana roll up thing. I was like, it just wasn't the same. As like I would have slept better at night knowing that this whole submission magician thing that we're going with. I would have slept better at night if they just played it off her. It's like, well, she had the submission in, Sasha was done, and she just somehow managed to roll. And it was her leaning on her submissions what's cost her.
Yeah.
Something like that where Shayna's still looking really good because she's got this submission in. She's not letting it go. Because what I would have liked is kept this clutch in. Sasha Banks does the roll up. And then after the 3 count, she flops. Yeah. And it's like she just got the win, but Shayna just out went the lights. She had just enough to get the win. But Shayna had the moral victory because she took her out.
Something you said, so that was on an independent show, the New Texas Pro show that I went to in Dallas. T-Ray was facing Johnny Bedlam, and Johnny Bedlam got him into this, chokehold, but he got him in such a way where T-Ray fell back, and so he couldn't get T-Ray off of him. So basically, T-Ray's out, but they count the 1, 2, 3 because his shoulders are pinned. Yeah. So T-Ray gets the win, even though he's passed out.
Cold.
But gets the win, and of course then he's like, what the fuck, like kind of thing, and we're all giving him a hard time, like about that kind of stuff.
But it would mean so much nicer like that, exactly that, because it means that I'm not saying you have to protect Shayna Baszler, but I think someone made a good comment. Nobody worth remembering. The only problem with Shayna is that she's not getting a shot after all this time. She's there for a title. It's like we look at the roster list and see someone before they ask who is that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the thing. It's like when she came in, she was on the up towards the Raw title. So and how we were at the landscape of SmackDown at the time when she made the move over in the draft, it felt like it makes sense because it's great. We've got a heel that can do the business. At the time, I thought Bianca Belair would have been champ still. But it was like, brilliant. Top heel, dominant, has this legit personality about her. She knows what she's doing. It just falls into place nicely. But then she got paired off with the Naomi thing. And then we're doing the submission magician thing where they're trying to build her up. And it's like, this could have been a great time to start that off again.
Right.
You don't have to win every match. But with that, as we just said, that little thing where she lost the battle, but she didn't lose the war. Right. That's me, bro.
And like nobody said, you know, he said, I think it's her face. If I'm not mistaken, I once read that Vince thinks she's ugly and is not pushing her. And I mean, let's be honest. That is that a Vince McMahon statement? That is a Vince McMahon statement.
Yeah.
I mean, if we've listened, I don't know if you've listened to any of the JR stuff, but he talked about how Vince wanted 10s for like the Diva era or for you know things like that. So I can understand that aspect of it. You know,
we're in the age of the athlete now.
Yeah, exactly. Like
everywhere is that.
Well, like Sonic says, why aren't a lot of people running off shot? Almost should be killing everybody. True.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't disagree with you. Like you said, this is the point of the athlete. We have the Viking Raiders who come up later. I mean, against the Lotharios. I mean, like what the fuck? Yeah,
a proper giggle at that.
Oh my god, it's like both Lotharios equals one Viking Raider. I mean, size wise.
That's what you would expect anyway. Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it's again, what is it? I think who was it said it on here? Sonic said, I like how we are shocked at how WWE books.
I know.
But it is in a way because the booking of the show at certain points was good, but then there's other parts where you're like, how do you miss this one thing? How do you miss like you said with the roll up and doing something unique and different like that where Shayna gets, you know, pinned, but Sasha passes out right after that. There's little things that could be done, but you had the Brock segment right before this, which was good. You know, it was real good and a great tone setter.
Yeah.
And you just missed and I'm not saying the base of match, but like you have these athletes, these people who are legit badasses, and yet you got someone like Sasha Banks who maybe weighs $110 wet, and you like, I'm gonna beat this world class MMA athlete in wrestling. Bullshit. Like
totally.
I mean, you know, and like somebody said, Zelina. How does Zelina beat anybody? You know, I mean, she's smaller than Sasha Banks. I mean, it's like I can't. Like that's the problem. At least with the guys' rosters, there's some things that make sense. With the women's roster, it makes no sense at all. You know, I like was just some of the things that they do, and I struggle with that because it's like I want to watch wrestling to be enjoyable, but like I can't do that when you have somebody like Shayna Baszler, who should be higher up than she is on the roster, facing someone like Sasha Banks and just being a pin eater for Sasha. Shayna Baszler has been a pin eater for the last few weeks, and it's almost like, why? You know, what point?
Yeah, like we could have done. That's what we're saying. We could have protected her a little bit more on this.
Yeah.
So, I don't even mind how the match played out. It was just that ending where it was like, we've overdone a step here. All it takes is one writer to just step back, or whoever the producer was, it's just like take a step back, think of that one moment, and then be like, we've got something here. But they sort of seem to add steps for no reason, and it does damage people sometimes. I'm not saying like Shayna Baszler's done or she's over. Absolutely not. She'll be fine. She'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, but because you got someone like she is someone you want on your roster. Yeah, with that credibility, with that thing, and you can always turn her around. I mean, like that's the thing. She is tough enough and believable enough to where you could turn her around and easily start giving her a push. You know, if done right. You know,
but the common belief is that Sasha Banks is going to be next in line for Charlotte Flair. If you really wanted to set her up well off Shayna Baszler, you could do that. You could have like this whole sneaker win off this result, and then have Shayna Baszler snap and just go out on her, just take her out, or be like really aggressive. So then every time you could have 4 matches between now and day one, or like towards the Royal Rumble, and you can have Sasha win them all, because you could have a creative way where she gets out of this, like she pins her with the Kirifuda clutch,
right, and
then the arm thing, like she misses the arm, she goes to stop the arm, she moves it out of the way, rolls up Shayna Baszler, hoists by a home petard, or even like a DQ where Shayna just snaps, doesn't break the 5 count, and she's like, what? It's like, had her, she's beat, and like, nah, broke the 5 count. Like little things like that,
right?
Where it's craftiness, but you're also showing that Shayna is a wrecking machine.
She does not give a fuck, and she
doesn't give a fuck.
She's there to hurt people. She's not. It's not necessarily that she's there to win.
Yeah,
because she loses that.
Yeah, because then what you could do is once that's out the way, once Sasha's done Charlotte Flair or Toni Storm's champ or whatever, Shayna Baszler, we'll talk about that.
I saw that.
I have an issue with that, but then but then you've got Shayna ready to go. Like with these sort of things, okay, she lost, but she didn't look bad. She has a mean streak about her. She's someone you don't mess with. She's someone to be feared.
Right.
We're off to the races. And again, it's like you just have to have that little bit of outlook. You have to have that outside the view of that. It's like, don't just look at the person who needs to win.
Right.
Because there's always going to be a bigger picture. And you can do it without 50-50 in people. There's nothing wrong with people winning matches or losing a lot. But the way you do it is the big
right.
thing.
Exactly.
We had a priceless opportunity here, and we maybe because we've done a few steps. I'm like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like Naomi and Sonya Deville, that's going to go on a little bit longer.
Right. Which, but I think they previewed that they're going to have a match next week or something like that.
Yeah, but I can suspect that Sonya Deville's going to do something where she'll get out of it, which is okay, which is good because that's the story. She's getting out of that.
But like the chat says, too. At the same time, they brought up some really good points. Labrat says, or how every woman tossed around Nia, just not real. Elizabeth says, honestly, and mind you, this is a woman. Honestly, why I typically tune out during all the women's matches, all that whining and screaming and throwing temper tantrums. This is a woman who watches wrestling and doesn't watch that part for that reason. And then nobody's saying thank you, Lab Rat, for saying what I said for months. Smaller women should be dominated by bigger women because their size not being their basketballs or bitches. That's it. And then Sonic. The women, wrestle just like the man. That's nothing that makes them special. But I think that's the problem is when Shayna wrestles like a man and that's not done in women's wrestling. So that's kind of the thing that makes her special because she's not out there in, skimpy outfits to wrestle or whatever, like Sasha Banks or Charlotte Flair or anything like that. She's out there to wrestle and win like a guy would. But yet they don't book the women's.
I'd much rather that.
Yeah.
I'd much because you don't want the wrestling of the divas either.
I want
modern day women's wrestling. Yeah. That's MMA. It. Women boxers, MMA fighters, they fight just the same way as like guys would fight. Yeah. There's no differentiating. They're athletes, they're tough, they're nails, and there's women in that roster that can show that. And I think all of them can. All of them in some way, shape, or form are capable of just wrestling a normal match.
Right.
And I think they should be allowed to do that. They should be given that right to do so. Mm-hmm. You can't, I don't think it's fair that you have like Carmella and Selena Vega and that lot work in a certain way, but then have like Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair or like Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. They got to work out this really great match in a main event slot. It's like, you shouldn't have to have either or. You can let them have it. Let them have the way. Like, let them just work a good match.
Yeah.
Because they can. Yeah. Everyone's had a go. Everyone shows they can do it. So why are we not letting them just do it more often? Because it works it's great for everyone.
Right.
We've got one of the best wrestlers in the world right now throwing pies. And we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. So let's just let them have it. Like NXT. Right. NXT's women division, for the most part, get to do that. That's why, for the longest time, NXT's women division was one of the best in the world.
But that was under Triple H's control. Now that it's under Vince, we're starting to see that.
We've seen the cracks forming.
Now, let's be honest. we understand that the women's division is a mess. I mean, it's a mess. We just, I think, let's be honest, we still have other segments of the women's division we need to talk about. So I say,
we've lamented over it.
Yeah, we really have, and and we could kind of go over this a little bit more. But until WWE starts figuring that out, it's just totally that thing now. We've got to come to deal with it. This is the state of it now. I unfortunately, and of course, we'll talk about the Toni Storm thing. We'll talk about the Naomi thing and Sonya Deville. As somebody said, they never told us why Sonya has a problem with Naomi. I know. This
is what they're trying to drag out.
Yeah,
and it's starting to get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm starting to think this is a race thing. That's a problem.
Or they don't know what they're kind of coming up with.
I mean, WWE's got this weird thing where it's like, if I'm sitting there and then race is starting to become a genuine consideration as a viewer, that this might be a problem. Come on, guys. Come on, we don't need this sort of stuff happening under your hospices. Stop it. Stop it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worrying. Lab Rat got a great comment here. Shayna was booked as a monster in NXT, got called up, and now this is 50-50.
Yeah.
This is it. This is exactly the problem.
Yeah.
50-50 booking. And it really showed itself. Again, don't just bring up the Toni Storm thing, but we'll talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. Fuck it. No, let's just talk about it now, because I keep saying we'll talk about it. Just get that out of the way, and then we can move on to other stuff. So I realized something.
Okay.
I feel like I'm partly to blame for this all happening. Because remember when Charlotte Flair and Toni Storm had their first interaction, and Charlotte went, nah, and then left.
Right.
And I said Charlotte Flair pied her. Very British term when you just throw someone off.
You brought that into the universe.
I brought that into the zeitgeist. And funny enough, the week after, I didn't think about it until I was on my way home from work today, but funnily enough, the week after, it was a Thanksgiving episode, and Charlotte Flair's throwing pies at Toni Storm's face. And like, that's it, game over. And how do we counteract this? We have Toni Storm throw a pie at Charlotte Flair's face. You can't erase history, right? It happened. Last week happened. And every single person, whether it's on the Hammy Media Group, when it's on like other places, if you listen to Fightful or Wrestling Observer, or you listen to Golden Raw, or you listen to some of the other podcasts on Channel Attitude, we all said the same thing. It was the wrong way around. We all said it. No, everyone's in line with each other on this one. Toni Storm should have had the pie in Charlotte's face. So you can't erase that problem. And you can't solve the problem by having the other way around happen the next week.
Right.
And it played out stupid as well. Because there's a point where you clearly see Toni Storm coming towards Charlotte. And Charlotte's seen it.
And is with her legs like, ooh, like, and Charlotte, you can tell Charlotte kind of knows like she's back there, but is like, all right,
she sees her coming, because when she kind of walks along, and then she's kind of walked, and then you see her kind of take the belt off, so she's holding it up.
Right.
You see Toni making her way out.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's her that you see. It's coming out, so she knows she's there.
Yeah.
So, and then she turns around, and then the camera sort of, because the camera does this weird pan, it kind of goes up a bit, and then she does the belt thing, and you see that for a long time, and then you see Toni Storm. Then and so Charlotte doesn't have the Seth Rollins excuse for that guy running after him, where it's like, you just come at me. It's like, no, she doesn't even get the benefit of that. It's like, you saw her.
Yeah, that
took me out of it a little, but still, the pie thing.
Yeah,
this feud's based around pies, John. This feud is about pies. It started off with someone getting pied, then Charlotte throwing pies at someone's face. Now Tony's got back at Charlotte Flair.
And we don't even have The Rock involved to make it about good pie.
I know. John, these are two of the best wrestlers in the world, women's wrestlers in the world, and we're feuding over a pie.
Are you sure about that? I mean, come on. This like, like we said, and then you turn around and you have the Naomi, Sonya thing, And like Sonic says, I don't want to think race. I'm trying to think of an alter excuses now.
Yes.
But like, okay, Sonya Deville, technically, I think she's Hispanic. So like, if I remember, like her real like
makes this even weirder.
I know. Again, like I think she has some Hispanic in her background or whatever from like what I was reading. So like, I'm going, okay, well, okay. I'm trying to figure this all out. It makes no sense whatsoever. Again, like we don't have this. We're dragging it out. Like you said, it's getting to the point now. It's like, okay, just fucking tell us. I don't care at this point. I just want to know why they're fighting. What one has issue with the other, because I don't really care at this point. You're making it to the point where I don't care, and I want to care about this fight. I want to know why they're fighting. I want to know what the deal is because I want to be invested. But they're almost to the point now where they're dragging it out too long to where I'm going,
okay, that's enough. It's like I'll give my thinking as well though, because I did jump to race, and I don't want to make it seem weird, but like the way I got to it was how Sonya just avoids the question, and it's like, well, I got nothing wrong with her. And then when she's pressed on it, she doesn't have a reason. Right. She doesn't have a legitimate reason. Now, you'll see this behavior in racist, funnily enough, where it's like, what's your problem with the guy? And then they struggle to find a genuine reason outside of it. But their explanation is not going to be like, oh, he did this to me, or this, or like it's there's no reason behind it. Right. So I think when I see that in life happening, and I've seen Sonya Deville doing these same things, it's like, oh my fucking god, she's doing this and it's obviously not, because it's like you can't have that on a family TV show, even though it's a real thing and all this stuff. Right. But when the way they're doing it, you wouldn't really expect it to be the way. But because it's dragging out and the reasons are becoming less and less, that's my worry. It's like, okay, we're playing this out in a way that it shouldn't be. Like, I'm asking these sort of questions in my head, like, why are we avoiding the issue? But this point, as we said, it's been about 2 months now. It's like,
right.
I think a justification is pretty clear in the way now. If we're not going to explain it now, then I'm going to start making up my own ideas, and I'm going to base it on what I'm seeing on TV. And I can't be the only one that's worrying about that. Like, coming up, like, if I'm having to think about this as well, if I'm a viewer, just get my explanation of what I think it is out the way. Like, if I'm having to come up with my own ideas for why this is happening, we're fucked up. Like I should be. I'm the viewer. I should be having to fill in the gaps for myself.
Right.
That's your job as a storyteller, to fill in the blanks. That's why you've got a commentary team. That's why we do recap packages. That's why we have all this stuff. Your job's to fill in the blanks, crew, not me. Like, you fucking get back in that writer's room and you figure out what blank you're filling today. Don't just ignore it. Don't space out on us. Ooh, Sonic's got a great comment. Knowing WWE, it's going to be Sonya's mad because Naomi denied her advances. Now, I like that. I kind of like that. Okay.
Salacious. Yeah. Even though everybody knows she's married. Everybody knows she's married.
So she is, yeah.
Right, but
never stopped Vince, I suppose.
Hey, screw you for not liking me when I came on to you, even though you're married. So
hey, man, I'm just checking. I was just checking you out, man. I thought we were cool. Like, it's cool. Like, what? Girl can't give another girl a compliment now? What are you talking about?
Yeah. That ass, though. What that ass do?
I'd be here for that in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't have it one way or another, but like, or even, I don't know. I'm trying to think what's happened in the history of this company, like, where these two being in the vicinity of each other. I'd be like, she's got something on Naomi, but there's nothing.
I don't think of anything. I can't either. That's the thing. It's like, of course it's funny. Elizabeth, like, she doesn't like her because she thinks she's trying to use her connection to the bloodline to get something. I mean, I get that, but no, that has never been. That has never been used. Yeah,
I'd sleep better at night if they somehow got the bloodline involved in it.
Exactly. And then Sonya mad because she's Hispanic and Naomi is thicker. That's a good one. I like that one as well. But I mean,
I didn't tell me, like, do you know who my cousin is?
Yeah.
Do you know who not my cousin? Do you know who my husband is?
Yeah.
Do you know who my husband's cousin is? Do you know who my husband's cousin's cousin is?
I mean, but
like, The Rock somehow. You got to do that.
Yeah, but like none of that has ever been a thing with Naomi. She's never, I mean, so trying to figure out what it is, I don't know, I mean, because let's be honest, Naomi has worked her ass off to get where she's at.
Really?
I mean, well, no, not literally. She's always had that ass though. But like, she has worked really hard at becoming the performer that she is. And, I don't know.
Like, what opportunities has she had over Sonya? Like, Sonya's not even at a point where she could have been champ. Like,
right.
that would have been my first go-to. Is like, I'm not champion because of you, because of what you've achieved, or because you're like part of the Total Divas thing. I didn't think they would bring that back, but it's not that. I thought that would be the easy go-to. It's like I could have been champion, but because of you doing your thing or being married to the Usos, I couldn't get it. So now I'm in charge. I'm going to make sure you don't get it. But it would have been easy to do that. It'd been so easy. Here's that too as well. Naomi should have went to Sonya, asked for matches and told no and go over her head. Gets her way because of the bloodline. That would have been good. That would have been really good.
Once again, why is it this hard to book women's matches like this?
I mean, we're playing off the politics of backstage just now anyway. We're like, Roman's like, we have the promo later on. Roman's like, how come I didn't know this?
Right.
How come Brock Lesnar's coming back? I don't know about that. Sami Zayn's getting his match. I don't know about that. Adam Pearce isn't here. How come I'm not knowing about that? Like the DNA of this show is being built off the bloodline's politics.
Mm-hmm.
So why not carry that on?
I don't know.
I just haven't that too, I suppose. Had that time that supported Naomi that time before WrestleMania, but they never supported her. Are they both from the same area? They both from Miami?
Well, Orlando, because remember the whole Feel the Glow
Orlando
thing came after. Because remember,
it's Florida, yeah.
Yeah, so it was after Orlando shooting at the gay club that Naomi started doing the Feel the Glow thing. Was supportive of that. So maybe, but boy, that seems like a
bit dark on that angle, but I like it.
Exactly.
There's got to be something there, like there's got to be some out now that we're at this point. See, we've just spitballed, you guys in the chat, me and you. We've come up with a bunch of great reasons why this could happen. Mm-hmm. Now I'm wanting it to be spicy, and I need it spicy now. I need some substance to my reason. I can't have it. I don't like you because you did this. I'm like, we've got some juicy stuff going on here. I want some juicy reasons for it happening. There is no way. Nailed on the head. Right hand has no idea what the left is doing, and the brain took a vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some sort of a match we're going to be talking about later on.
Unfortunately, that's been the thing with SmackDown is these women's segments. They have been kind of the drag. Kaz, my man, that's exactly what I said. He is a national treasure. Welcome to the chat, by the way. Let's see. Remember when Rose and Sonya had a beef when Naomi and her husband rehashed that?
Oh yeah, because like Mandy was trying to send DMs to Jimmy, or no, it was Jay. Yeah, she was sending DMs and stuff to Jimmy, or she was making it seem like she was sending DMs to him. And all
right.
But
it was that.
Sonya and Mandy aren't even pals anymore. So
no, and one's not even in NXT. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they were pals. It's like because you, sorry, like. Mandy's down in NXT now. I don't get to count, but you get to do Total Divas with Natalia and all this stuff.
Yeah,
like, fuck off. Like, that'd be fine.
I guess. I don't know. But that's a stretch though. That's a stretch, to be able to pull that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems like a stretch. But anyway, I mean, let's be honest. We've determined that the women's division is the weakest thing a part of the show and everything going on. And
there's no reason why it is.
Yeah.
There's no reason why it should be. We've got Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch had a great promo on Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan's looking like a star now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she got the chance. I don't know if she wins or not, but I'm glad she's getting the chance to get that spotlight put on her. It was great, even though I was a bit unsure about the releases line.
Right.
I think a lot of people were happy about that. I doubt she was happy about it. But you know what? She's taking it with both hands. She's looking the part.
Mm-hmm.
I say it almost every week. They've shown they can do this. They've shown that it can make you look like a star. There's no reason why you can't do it with everyone. You know? Just invest in your talent, make them look good. Everyone can look good. There's no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to have weird, vague storytelling to make that happen either.
Yeah.
Like, people can don't like each other, and you don't have to drag it out. You don't have that as a basis. The finding out the reason isn't the basis of the storyline. The reason why this is happening is the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we should already be here. We should already know when they don't like each other. We should already know why she's using that against her now.
Right.
Like, we should have got that over when Sasha Banks came back.
Right. Exactly.
That would have been the moment where it's like, okay, so you're friends. You know what? Now's the time. I'm going to tell you what. Like announcing this match would have been the time as well. It's like, right, we've got the match.
Exactly.
Right, now I'm going to tell you why I probably...
Exactly.
No, actually, tell a lie. When the handicap match, that's when we should know.
Right.
It's like, after I was like, you know, I'm going to tell you why I don't like you, because you're on the ground, you're out.
Right.
But,
whatever it is. But, like, I mean, even tonight, though, like you said, though, even tonight could have been a reason why. You know what? Yeah. We're going to have a match next week, and this because, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know? And Elizabeth, she said they've been posting stuff on social media about being, actually they've been posting since Sonya Deville
came back.
Well, before that, with the whole trial thing, they've been posting because Mandy was there in the house when the stalker showed up.
I feel like they could have the match at SummerSlam. I always have my respect for them to do it, but there would have been no shame in just like canning that. Yeah, after that happened,
they just kind of left it, and of course, I think they're business partners for like a donut thing, and you know, some fitness stuff. So, so in order to keep that business going, they after the intruder thing, they kind of just left that ago, and yes, they've been friends since then. So,
Here's Kayla on the mic to ask her what's why, because she's too busy fucking up Paul Heyman shit.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
And I love it. I'm here for it. That's quietly my favorite feud on SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh, except and here's another brilliant use of another this is the last of the women's we're going to talk about. Aaliyah just randomly showing up with the New Day, talking with them right before they talked to Kayla. Like,
don't do this to me.
So is she supposed to be like some backstage gossip girl now? Like, is that the whole purpose?
Oh my god! Yeah, she's starting to Just Joe, isn't she? That's a reference and a half. I wonder who'll get that one. But yeah, she's just like there, chatting with folk, stirring the pot a little bit inadvertently, and I wish she just got her match at Survivor Series. I wish she just got the match. Oh, it's not fair. We don't deserve nice things.
No.
We don't deserve it. Highlighted by the next segment. Well, the segment in the actual order that we had after the... What match should we talk about first? The Shayna... Oh, that's how we got here. The Shayna Baszler Sasha Banks match.
So we got all the women's stuff is out of the way. We've moved on from that. We're getting it all done.
Yeah. So. And then Sonya Deville, after FaceTime and Pearce, Drew McIntyre came in, asked, what the fuck? How come I was on the list? And then she just throws Pearce under the bus. It's like, he made the list. It's nothing to do with me.
Walks in with his fake ass sword, threatening you with it, like he's gonna fucking use it. Again, this is my problem, James. He doesn't need a sword. You know, he doesn't need a sword, and walks in with the leather jacket and holds the sword up like I'm gonna fucking impale Adam Pearce with this thing. No, you're not. You are Drew McIntyre. You can just beat the shit out of him. You don't need a sword, which you're not gonna use anyway. You know, again. This is my problem with Drew McIntyre. I think the idea of the sword and the Scottish thing, great. I love it. Okay, I understand you want to pay homage to your heritage, but at the same time, he doesn't need a sword, which you're not going to use to begin with.
Yeah,
you're not going to use it.
Hang the phone here. Hang on, what's going on here? Hang on. Happy Media Group. Who are you? Who is this? It's not me. I'm not in charge of this chat. They'll get comments there. Camera shoot coming soon, probably about the Naomi thing. Saw someone say Zayn is buried and that he's leaving. They have no clue. If you're buried, the show isn't built around your storyline. I do believe he is leaving, but I don't think he was buried at all. I thought he looked amazing. I thought I had a great night. But anyway, sorry, I cut in. I was just kind of like, what the fuck? Hang on.
Boss man. It's boss man, brother.
Someone said it there.
Boss man's in the chat.
I was like, oh my God, the hand is watching me.
Yes.
But yeah, the sword thing, I'm getting a bit tired of.
Yeah.
I really am now. I was here for the banter when it happened initially, and then he brings it out occasionally, and now he's bringing it out every week. I'm like, oh, please don't be his thing. Please don't be his thing. Anything. Have him paint his face Scottish for all I care. Like do like the Braveheart thing. That's grand. Don't bring the sword out all the time. I used to like it when he did the entrance because it was a nice visual. You sword in, the flames come up.
Yeah.
Right? I'm off to battle.
And then,
brilliant.
And then he leaves it and he walks off and he goes in. That's, I mean, that's, because Ben has said this, like, if you're going to threaten violence with that thing, but you're not going to use it, what's the point? It's exactly that point,
Are we going to start selling swords now? Is that what's happening? Are we going to start selling these things?
Probably. Knowing WWE, they're going to do some shit like that where it's going to be, oh, get your Drew McIntyre foam sword.
Your Claymore.
Your Claymore. Woohoo. Some bullshit like that.
I just figured out a good way you could do it. Sell them as ice creams. You bring out the ice cream bars and shape them like the Claymore. Like, I don't know what kind of ice cream you'd put in them, but I'd buy them or buy sweets. Or, Claymores, or I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to think of ways that if we're gonna do it, we're gonna make some money off it, right? We're gonna make some pennies. Right? They're already selling the foam swords. Oh no. We're doing it, sir. We are doing this. It's happened. I was joking. I'm joking and no, it's a real thing.
Oh my god.
It's a real thing. God. Scotland's taking back to the 1200s now. Sorry. I mean, it's not like we've got, Iron Brew or some good things.
Scottish,
it's not as if we've got Baccarat on our side now or anything. Nah, swords. Like we're a good place now again. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna do the Scottish thing, do the warrior thing. Great.
Yeah.
Don't do the sword thing. We're just up for a fight sometimes. You know what I mean? We can be Rajas. Don't just be a Raj. Just go have scraps with people. Let them do what Sheamus and whatever the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Let him have him do that. Have him fight people. That's all I want from him. Xia Li has a sword too. She does. Too many blades in this company.
She has all kinds of weapons, and it's like serious.
Her hands.
Yeah, but like at least she hasn't been shown walking to the ring yet with them. I love this comment. Drew, if someone's the power of Grayskull and becomes Braun Strowman. Oh my god!
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm sure Drew's bigger than Braun, kinda.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's bigger than Braun.
I always say they're about the same, but like here's the thing. This is the only thing that I would love about it. Like with Xia Li, she comes down with all these weapons, and she's having to pull all these weapons out before. Because the ref, of course, checks the person for weapons or whatever, and like she's having to pull out a knife and a throwing star and this, like, just be comedic with it at this point, like because you've shown her, with the little finger knife thingies and all this other stuff, the weapons that she's been using in the montage. So when she finally gets to the ring, oh, I've got to give you these finger knives. I got to give you these throwing stars. I got to give you these knives. It's like she's just unloading all these weapons that she's been carrying this whole time.
Total ninja.
Yeah,
I don't like vultures.
Yeah, So I mean,
oh my god. That's the other thing. We've got another superhero in our midst.
Yeah, the Protector.
The Protector. So we've got Nikki ASH. He's been made to look like a numpty. And we get Batman. Yeah. I'm just saying it, right? I'm just saying right now, if I'm picking a superhero, I love Nikki ASH. I love Nikki. Look, Nikki Cross. I love Nikki. But Xia Li is definitely the better one. Mm-hmm. Like, it's Batman all day long. She is the Batman of this DC universe.
Yeah, yeah. So Boss says, who's the first stabbing? Being that they're doing this whole Protector thing, it's got to be Shayna Baszler.
Ooh.
Because she's being the bully, right? It's
just being the bully.
They're doing this whole I stand up for bullies, I'm the protector, da 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 da. So if that's the case, the most logical sense is Shayna Baszler is the first stab.
Yeah,
she's the first
I'd be up
one.
For that. I'd be up for that.
Yeah, but
have Naomi like how can Naomi just sitting there going how come you can do, but I can't. I'm not wearing hockey pads. And just run away. Wow, Xia Li, you changed a bit. Okay. It's getting a bit dangerous there. Blades getting involved, swords, other swords, sticks, katanas, shuriken stars, all
apparently
that.
SmackDown is the
Dangerous place.
Is the wrestling show with weapons between Sheamus and Ridge Holland and
Here, if there's ever a case to bring back the hardcore division right now,
right.
The Mad Bastard division is what it should be. The Raji Gaji division.
Right.
Just everyone just gets into a fight. It just whoever survives wins the belt that week.
Exactly.
Whoever's left standing wins the belt.
Hey, how about this? Let's take a break for a second, and why don't you go ahead? I think we got enough people.
I think we're in a good spot. Yeah, we got a good spot. So we teased it. We'll do the hour break. So we've got a big announcement for everyone involved in this show. So we've got some big stuff coming up. We've got the Christmas special coming in a few weeks, but I'm looking at the 18th, December the 18th. What we're going to do is we're going to give one of you the chance to come and join us for the episode, to be our third on the desk. So if you followed us for however long, if you've listened to the show, we're going to get one of you to come here. And it's very simple how you do it. I'm going to put a tweet up on Twitter, and it's the only way you're going to enter. So it's going to be through Twitter. You're going to go follow Smack Attack HMG. So you have to be following us on Twitter. We're going to put a tweet out about the announcement of what we're going to do for this competition. And this is how you go on. You like it, you retweet it, and you're going to put a photo there of how you listen to the show. Mm-hmm. So that's if you're sitting on the couch watching it on the TV as we go live, if you're in the tub with your radio, maybe you're out hunting, maybe you're like Ben, maybe you go and just go hunting and you just got us in the background in your ears. Mm-hmm. The wilder, the better. And that's how you get in. And then the week before, so 2 weeks? No, 2 weeks is the show. Right. So what we'll do is we'll do next week, we'll do the draw. So if we do the draw, your name's in the hat. So basically, if you send us a photo while we're retweeting, we'll get you in on the show. So you're in the list. We'll do the draw live, and you're up for that. Karen Spaceman, hi man. I hope you just caught the announcement. You would have loved it. So go on to Twitter at Smack Attack HMG. We'll put the tweet. I'll put it up after the show. You'll like that tweet. In fact, I'll do it now. Watch. Let's do something unique. Let's put something on here unique that only us will know about on the chat. I'm not saying I'm giving you guys an advantage here, but Justin, hang on. So I've got my phone. I've got Twitter right now. I'm putting out the tweet together. Just announced your chance to join us on the Smack Attack. Hashtag Smack Attack. Great radio if you're catching up on this, by the way.
Yeah.
Smack Attack on the 18th of December. So the importance of this, the reason why I do it is because it's the Christmas sort of given, the spirit of Christmas. It's our last live show before the new year.
Right.
Because the Christmas special is going to be pre-done. I'm already in the process of putting it together. So it'll be ready to go on Christmas morning. Unfortunately, I've got better shit to do with Christmas Day. Just saying. So there's bigger things. There's bigger fish to fry on Christmas morning is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we'll put it out. So I'm going to do it now as a wee treat. So we start the new year fresh because day one is literally going to be our first day of the Smack Attack in 2022. We'll probably want to do a little bit of a recap of the year before and then look at the next year. So this was a great time, I thought, because we're in the Christmas mood. We're doing some different things anyway. So why not get you involved? So we'll do the tweet competition. So if you're just joining us, I'm just about to put out a tweet right now.
Yes.
You've liked that tweet. I'm going to pin it. You like the tweet. You retweet that. In fact, I'm going to add a little nugget to it. Tag people. Tag 3 people who should listen to the show, who don't already do it now. That could be your pals. It could be a wrestler that you like. It could be anyone. Just tag 3 people from the Smack Attack page. It'll be on Smack Attack HMG on Twitter, and put a photo of how you take in our show, how you listen to it. Right. Do you watch us on YouTube? Do you listen to us on Channel Attitude? Do you bootleg it from someone? I don't know how you can bootleg these things, but maybe you bootleg it. Maybe you've got it in your ears when you're going out for a bath, maybe in the hot tub while you're watching this. Maybe you're at the football game, wherever. We want to know. We want to see what you're doing. Send us those things. Canada, you could send photos of your fridge, basically, again.
Yeah.
It'll be on a massive scale. And we'll put it on it. We'll put the draw up. I wonder if there's a way of like doing the the draw with like a wheel, but have everyone's pictures be in the wheel, so
Right.
that we can basically figure out whose picture.
I've seen that. I've seen that where you could do the wheel.
You're sitting in jail. There it is. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'd love to see that. Yeah. I'd absolutely love to see that.
Hey, Cujo, I know you said you have no Twitter, so you're out. Do me a favor. Email us. Email us where you do that from to the Smack Attack for that. So we want to give you an opportunity. So I'm kind of making the executive decision. James and I have talked about this. We're gonna do that, but like if you don't have Twitter, email us at least the show where you're watching from.
Yeah, give us that. We'll do that. We'll take that,
we'll do that as well. So at least email us from the show, and then of what you're doing and where you're watching from. But of course, that's only for people who are in this chat will know that. So maybe we tweet sitting riding a pony. Yes, Candace makes whatever. Sitting on a couch, whatever you guys do, I don't care. It could be, sitting naked, doing naked things. I don't know what you do, and I don't care. We just want to see how you watch the show. And like I said, if you don't have Twitter, email the show. But there's an opportunity for you to come on the show. That's why I just said Canada Spaceman. Email the show with the picture of where you watch the show. Yeah. Listen, but. Let us know. We want you to be involved. We want something to be there. You go.
Yes, it's pinned. It's there. Just announce your chance to join us on the Smack Attack for the 18th. It's simple. Follow us. Like and retweet this tweet. Tag 3 people who should listen to the show. It can be anyone you like. Ignore the typo and respond with a photo of how you enjoy the show. It can't be any easier than that. I will take the wildest of the wildest. Be mad, be creative, have fun with it. It's exactly what this is, because we're all about that in the Smack Attack. And it's great because I don't think a lot of shows do this on the Hammy Media, but we don't just like hand out a chance to just join us and just be part of things. We were missing someone, or we need a third. Sometimes we'll bring in someone like the vet or someone who's not part of the network. So it's a unique opportunity. If you're like a big fan of what we do, if you follow Hammy Media Group in general, if you're someone who's new for Channel Attitude, but you've got something you want to say about what we watch on SmackDown, it's a great chance to get you on. It's a great time doing here. We'll be nice. We'll give you the red carpet treatment. We'll give you an announcement. We'll get you on here. We'll make a big deal of it. It'll be fun. It'll be a nice thing to do. And you can slag off the rest of the chat and say, haha, I got here ahead of you, get it up you. Things like that. You can do what you want. Have fun.
Yeah.
So it gives you that chance to just be involved. So, and it helps us as well. If you can get the word out about our show and people tuning in more, it helps us. So we're giving you a chance to be part of the show, but you're also giving us a chance to get into more people's ears and
to spread the love.
Spread the love. So it'd be much appreciated there. So you're basically getting incentivized for sharing this show. And we'll maybe do this more often. I'm doing this for Christmas at the moment, but we'll likely do this more. We'll give more chances. We might give out prizes. We'll think of things. So certainly keep your eyes open. So the draw, it starts this week. Starts now, right very now. So if you're not doing it, get it done. Although keep watching the show. Don't leave yet.
Right.
Keep watching and
because
tweet.
We still have more SmackDown to talk about. But
Jesus, haven't we ever? We've got to get move on in a sec there.
Yeah.
So do it now. And you've got till next Saturday. I'm going to put the deadline on the tweet, but I reckon the deadline UK time is going to be about 3 p.m., which would make that 9 a.m. Your brain. Wow, brain just flatlined on me.
I don't keep track of what the fuck y'all's time is over there. I'm too whatever.
We'll do that there. So what I'll do is, the people watching just now, you know it's on Twitter. You've got a head start. I'm going to put it on the Facebook page as well after the show's done. So enjoy. Please get involved and help us out as much as you can for that there. Anyway, SmackDown. The next segment after the Drew McIntyre stuff. Happy talk. Happy talking. Happy talk.
Will this shit go away?
No. It's a vicious, never-ending cycle.
The fact that Pat McAfee almost about said the same thing, kind of made me laugh a little bit. It's like they're just getting worse. Like it's almost like he's like telling him, "Stop, please."
That was it. Pat just was like, "This is terrible."
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. It's bad. And And of course, Drew comes out and
yeah, he comes out, points the sword, and he's not even the one that gets his own back. It's Jeff.
Yeah.
I should tell the people the joke if you're not listening to SmackDown yet. Madcap Moss said, "What would you call Jeff Hardy if he was a mother and had a child?" Swanton mom.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to call him a crisis, but then a bit more black humor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't a good segment, and it was supposed to be sort of like explain away how Baron Corbin eliminated Madcap Moss. It was like, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's not as if like there was real stakes in it. It's just a joke. Anyway, you're like, come on. Like, joke. Yeah. Would you have said that if you wanted the title? Like, come on. It's a joke.
Yeah. No.
Like,
it's a joke.
So we can kind of get rid of that there because I wasn't really interested in that.
No, it was awful. It was dumb. And like, although like Elizabeth said, that outfit on Corbin, yeah, that outfit was, oh my god, like, did they pay him to be in that outfit? Because that outfit was the shits.
I believe they do. That's why it's his job.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I guess. But,
I'm sorry, I'm just being wide.
No.
I spent my day being wide to people, so
you're right. That was
just
boy. Make a dumbass comment. You get dumbass day. I
just set it up for you. Like,
yeah. No, I tossed that one up like a softball.
But then Madcap Moss did this weird thing where he spoke normally for a bit. It was like, oh yeah, okay. You got a joke, eh? Yeah. It's like, oh shit. It's like releasing the Mogwai.
Oh my god! It is a change the channel segment for me at this point.
Yeah, it felt like that, didn't it? Yeah. And it's a bit of a shame because the match after it was a great match for Los Lotharios, I thought. Mm-hmm. In terms of making them look like a good tag team or a tag team where I'm like, I'm going to pay attention to these guys. And I'm not saying it was a good match, but it's like, that's a team where I was like, I could buy into them being champions. Like crafty heel champs that would find a way to weasel out of a situation, or just like the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
Where like they'll have matches where with their sheer class, they'd win it. But then in matches where they should lose, they somehow find a way. Something happens where they win it. It's like,
but at the same time too, the difference was with the New Age Outlaws, they still were physically imposing enough. That's the problem with the Los Larios or whatever they're called. That they look good, but like they are the smallest tag team in the division by far. Oh yeah, easily. Because think about it. Even if you have Nakamura and Boogs, which was last week. Which, by the way, why is the Intercontinental Champion in a tag team?
Why is the Intercontinental Champion not wrestling for the Intercontinental Championship?
Hey, has his 30 days? Well, has his 30 days expired easily yet? Like,
probably. I don't even know if he's defended it on live shows or anything.
Semantics. It's one of those things where you just kind of have to go, all right, what's the dealio here? All right, they're not the biggest. And then you have them coming up against the Viking Raiders the next week after last week. Last week was a match. Okay, I get it. They tag team. Nakamura's not the biggest, but still, of the two, he's bigger than them. And Boogs, of course, is a strong man. But then you got this week, the Viking Raiders. And I've always loved War Machine. Like, yep. Hanson and Rowe. They are War Machine to me. They are Hanson and Rowe. They're not Ivar and whatever this bullshit they're doing. They're Hanson and Rowe. They're War Machine. They're fucking badass dudes. The fact that one picks up the other and slams them on top of another guy. It's just, cool stuff. And, you have this match, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. All because the dude was playing guitar. Boost. Yeah. And then, of course, you have that distraction at the end, but the distraction goes for the Los Larios' favor, which I didn't understand. That was the
dumbest shit. Well, that's the thing I found funny. It was like, it's totally been mistimed.
Yeah.
As well. Because, like, Angel Garza could have kicked his face in all day long. Right. For the best part of a minute. He's wrong. Like, the ref's counting her, and then she's sort of like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, shit, something's happened.
Right, yeah.
2. 2.
Because they don't have everything set up yet for the.
And he does like a look, and then he still go back to.
Yeah.
And then it happens, and like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
It felt so weird. I was like, so it had it locked. Yeah, it was just so weird, that double team finishing move. It was like, and it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
In the end, like,
and that's what I'm saying.
It didn't even matter.
And then of course, then it ends the match. The Viking Raiders are pissed, but then Boog starts playing their theme song, and it's like, okay, we're all cool. Like Elizabeth said, yeah, it's like, exactly.
Although I will say this, I have a case for this. Viking Raiders do have no one to blame but themselves, because the distraction worked. Well, in the case of the story, it worked because it stopped the move. He went and dealt with something else. It's Ivar's fault that he got pinned, right? He never took advantage. He just stood there like an idiot, and Humberto took advantage of that.
I guess.
So no one to blame but himself on that one.
But still stupid. Like, it was so dumb. Like, it
was his ace in the hole, and it played against him.
But still, and I mean, granted, like, and then you have War Machine like pissed and wanting to walk off, and then, well, hey, let's play the guitar for you. We'll play your theme song, and I'll do it. And then you have Pat McAfee jumping up and down like a madman, and I get it. I get it. Like, I understand what you're saying. They're all baby faces, so we're not going to have baby faces fighting baby faces. We're not going to have War Machine turn heel or whatever at this point, because we don't need any more heel tag teams. But at least you get the visual of Pat McAfee going fucking nuts behind Boogs as they're rocking along. Again, what makes Pat McAfee great? He's just back there going, nuts, at that whole point. And Michael Cole's going like, what's happening right now? I thought Pat was going to lose. I thought he was going to fall off the chair, Elizabeth. I really did. So, it's definitely something that
you would still play it off. You would still do something to make it. Style it out. You'd style it out.
Yeah. So, so you get that visual at least. And of course, again, the commentary for this, Pat at least is making it to where I can tolerate some of these things.
Yeah.
I can tolerate the idea of it. The fact that when he showed up, oh my God, I suppose, what I mean? Like, in that moment, it's all good.
Yeah.
I just, I wish it would have gone the other way. I know they're trying to push the Lotharios because, the whole point is, they have that heritage. They have that. I mean, they're both second generation wrestlers, if I remember correctly, or second or third generation wrestlers. So, why not utilize that?
Yeah, but then it goes back to the thing I was saying earlier on about, like, you could set people up for matches down the line and all this stuff. A little bit of flavor here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just didn't have the guitar stuff, or like you had Boogs try to play the guitar and then them just stop going.
Mm-hmm.
You set up a nice number one contenders match there. You've got Los Lotharios there, Viking Raiders, Nakamura and Boogs. There's a bit of in amongst the cat amongst the pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, might as well cover some ground here. Whoever wins this match gets a shot at the Usos.
Right.
It is, those little things. It's like, again, they're doing extra steps, and they're paying the price for it. Where if you just take a step back, look at the things and go, okay, we could stop the segment here, and everyone will be a bit happier for it. You don't, as you say, you don't have to have the Viking Raiders turn heel, but you can show them being a bit annoyed that, look, we could have done this on our own and ruined our chances for us here. Little things like that. We're not totally dumb, even though. Sorry, I was saying, maybe you'll think it was dumb. It's like, no, you will not. So it's setting itself up. I suppose it's better to be overly creative than lazy creative, I suppose. Right. But at the same time, it's like, let's just tighten things up a little bit. Let's clean this up, and you've got a really good show. This could have been a really good SmackDown, or like one of the better SmackDowns we've seen, if it wasn't for these little extra steps here and here. I mean, there's no saving the pie stuff, which we've already talked about. But, there's bits there. We can see things now, whereas a few weeks ago we were completely confused what we're doing. Now we're getting a little bit of a through line. People are connected now. We've got reasons for things happening. Let's just keep at it. Keep going strong. But it was okay. It was not bad. Not the worst segment, but it could have ended a bit differently, and I think a lot of people would have benefited a bit more.
Right.
Where are we? We did all the pie stuff. So we're at the Usos.
Yeah.
Take the piss out of Sami Zayn for challenging Roman Reigns for a match tonight. Bear in mind that I don't think Zayn had much of a choice. They mocked him for that as well. Like, I'd like to see you try that with Brock Lesnar. You think you're big man? Like, I would be like, you're such a gib. Why would you let me do that? And if Brock Lesnar walked into my work, he'd be like, gonna fix that watch for free, aren't you? I was like, oh yes, I am. Sorry, yes, I am. And would you like me? I'd try not to die if it meant if I could see the next day. Of course, I would. Unless I'm going to do what I'm told. I'm not an idiot. Sami Zayn's a smart one out of us all until the end. But anyway, Xavier Woods came out. We talk about, I think, where am I? They talk about Reigns being the only man to fear on SmackDown. They smash Xavier Woods' crown. Then Xavier Woods comes out. Said, look, you might have smashed the crown, but there's another one on the way. But I've got a surprise for you. I don't like to come to the party empty-handed. So here's the hand. Kofi Kingston. He's there at ringside for Jey Uso versus King Woods, which was a good old match, I thought, and ended quite smartly. You know, Uso's getting caught trying to be crafty and causing problems, and nice little tussle. Kofi Kingston gets trouble in paradise on both Usos. Right, fantastic. We've got the match. Easy days. We've got a reason for this match to reason for the match to happen. We don't have to talk too much about it because we know why this happened. Xavier Woods, there was the injury angle. Xavier Woods is having to take the beatings from the bloodline for a while. Kofi Kingston's back, so we're evening the numbers a little bit. It's time to settle the score. It's time to get back at these bastards. Roman Reigns is out doing his own thing. So we've covered a lot of anything that they do with the bloodline is working really well.
Right.
And it showed that I think we talk about a lot where the premise of the show being around them or the main spine of it, all the creative works really well with it.
Right.
It's very solid creative no matter what they do. Even the people like the New Day stuff, you could have thought the Xavier Woods thing was going to be a bit like, I don't know how I feel about that, but it makes sense.
Right.
There's reasons for things happening. We covered our angles with Kofi Kingston not being there, so now he's come back. We've set up something ahead of time. I don't know. Am I going on a bit of a ramble? I feel like I went on a ramble.
No, I mean, I don't. Everything you're saying is good. It's just like I don't know how I would add to it because it's there's
not really much to add.
No, there isn't. I mean, this is an example of okay, all this works. It makes sense. Why can't we do this for the rest of the show?
Yeah,
you know, really, it's just like, come on, guys, you know. And I think Sonic is right here when he says WWE stuck between eras and they don't know what they want to be, a soap opera, legit sport like AEW, and soap opera always wins because Vince McMahon. You know, because he's always said we're in the entertainment business, and I think you're right because Pat even mentioned I think during the Shayna Baszler match, you know, the Attitude Era 2.0. You know, I mean he made that slight reference, you know, in that match. I remember hearing that, and I'm thinking, okay, but you know, part of that also has to do with the fact that you know if we're going to go that route, then we need to, you know, commit to it. And I agree with him at this point. It's kind of like they're waffling between two things here, and they can't make a decision on what they want to do. And you know, personally, I think I'm okay with the Attitude Era. You know, it's something different. It's something that they can, I think, do well, and I think will benefit the process in the long run because it'll be something different. So, in the sense of like, yeah, we've seen the Attitude Era before, but I think we're craving that. It's what we want. We're tired of all this PC bullshit. We're tired of, you know, we're at that point. You know, I don't know about in Scotland, but in America, we're just tired of hearing all the bullshit from the politicians. And, you know,
we've been like that for years.
You know, but like, I mean, the stuff you're hearing about what's going on in fucking Australia, it's like, okay, what the fuck is happening down there? Like, that is some one world order bullshit down there kind of going on. you know, and you just kind of wonder at what point is enough, and who's going to push back, and that's what we want to see. We want that attitude era of standing up to the leaders and the bosses and telling fuck off. No, we're gonna do what we want to do. We want to drink beer and we want to party and we want to do whatever. I mean, it was like I was listening this morning to local sports station for the podcast, and the advertisement was like, with COVID-19, everything's a risk. Going to a concert, going out to get groceries, it's dangerous out there. Get your vaccination. I'm like, the fuck, really? Like, we're gonna go that fear porn route? Like, fuck off. Like, part of me now, I'm not vaccinated. Part of me is doing it just because it's like, fuck off. Y'all are doing it the wrong way. If you want me to get vaccinated, don't do this fear porn bullshit. Just be honest about it and be like, look, it's not necessarily a vaccine. We think it might be the best way to do it, but we don't know exactly how, but we're trying to do the best we can here. Yeah. If you went that route with me, I'd be like, cool, fuck it. Let's do it. All right. But because you're doing the stupid fear porn, you're the fuck you. No, I'm going to do my thing because you know what? At this point, I've never had the flu shot before. If I do get the flu, fine, it's no big deal. But that was the problem with the flu. You get the flu shot, but there's a different strain of the flu. You still get the flu. I'm gonna get the flu no matter what. It's a
crapshoot when they do the flu jab, which admittedly they admit that it's like we don't know which one it's going to be. We know it's going to be the flu. We're going to pick one and just hope for the best.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with this. It's just like, okay, look, why not just get? If I do get it, great. Natural immunity, no big deal. I'm okay with that. I know that I'm healthy enough to handle it. Considering the fact that I've been exposed 3 times and never got it. How do I get exposed 3 times, close contact with people, and never get it?
Yeah. I think it's going to be something that will calm down over time now when we get substantial data in the sense that how, like you talk about the flu. It's like when we get to a point where we understand it more like the flu and we can handle it in that same sort of manner. But right now we can't. There's no way of knowing, and this is easy. Like, I'm okay with how it is in Scotland right now because there was a fear where we were going to go down that same path where we're going to have to lock down again or things like this. And last week, the business said, like, oh man, we're gonna have to do passports for everywhere and do this. It's like, yeah, we do the vaccine passports, which is fine and stuff. But at the point, it was like, well, actually, we're doing pretty well. We've got good vaccination rates. Our cases are going down. We're quite steady. So we don't actually feel the need to do it. Like, we're not going over the edge. Like, I'm liking how we can recognize where we're in the spot. It's like, you know what? We're actually doing okay. So cool. We're aware of what's going on. We're aware of this new variant. We're aware of the effects, but we're actually doing okay. So we're just going to keep on trucking.
Right.
Like, that's fine. I don't want to go into the vaccination chat because it's a rabbit hole and I have to go down. But but it's like, we're in a position where it's going to be one day we'll all come together again.
Yeah.
We want to have this whole vax or anti-vax thing. We won't be worrying about that. We'll be having all these. Like, I'll have to send you an ad. There's a thing that went on Twitter. That's I can't remember the guy's name. Something Corbyn. They did this sort of like weird song where it's like mask is like a fart, and oh my god, it's so cringeworthy. And it's like, if you're like people, I'm sitting there convinced, like, if you had a case where you're like, I don't want the vaccine, I'm anti-vax, I'm all this and that, I'm pretty sure if you watch that, you'd change your mind.
Right.
It was that bad for the case. I'm like, come on, man. You'd be like, I'm just getting a vaccine because I can't be attached to that.
Like, well, I mean, I'm not an anti-vax. I'm just like personal choice.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I kind of made I'm more saying is like they were very heavy anti-vax and anti-mask and all that stuff. But because it was so cringe, it was like people who watched it would be like, I'm changing my viewpoint. Yeah. No, I think you have the right to have the choice about that. There, I think the debate is getting scary on either side.
Yeah, exactly. It's the fear porn aspect, and I think that's what people want. Is we're seeing struggles with our economy. We're seeing struggles with this flu vaccine. We're seeing or the COVID vaccine stuff. We're seeing all these things, and the government trying to tell us what to do. And we're wanting that. We want that stone cold thing again to come back to be like, tell them, fuck you, stunner, drink some beers, and go have a good time. That's kind of what we're wanting it for. And that's kind of that idea.
Yeah. Perfect comment here as well. It probably hits us on the head. We can't go back to that year because remember when the whole roster walked out on Raw for unsafe work conditions. You're all wrestlers, though. It's all unsafe. And he's totally right. Like, the whole thing's unsafe, but they left, like, we can't. I mean, you're trying to raise a pass all the time, but it's like they've set a tone where it's like, we can't go back and do these things.
Yeah.
I don't think I want the Attitude Era back. I want good, entertaining shows.
But I mean, I don't mind. I think there's always a place for that Buck the Authoritarian kind of character. I'm not necessarily saying, full Attitude Era, but like, let's have some good story. Let's make some stuff that makes sense. Let's have that, rebel against authority character kind of thing. Because who doesn't love it when you can live through somebody who tells their boss, fuck you, gives them a stunner and drinks a cold beer.
Exactly.
We can all relate to that. There's all that boss that we want to do that to. And yet, that story's not, it's a classic story. Tell that story. That's what we want. And so to me, I just feel like I think it's better what Sonic said. Do we want to be more that athlete, or do we want to be that soap opera? And I think, like, right now, like I mentioned last week, my ex-girlfriend Kara James, who was on the show talking about the first pay-per-view here in Fort Worth, when he went, he doesn't watch WWE anymore. He watches strictly AEW. And I asked him, so what brought you to watch AEW? He goes, it's just more believable. It's entertaining in the sense of they tell stories through the ring, and the matches are, they seem more physical and more real than anything WWE does. And I'm like, wow, okay, cool. That is, I can understand that point of view. So, but that's, like I said, that's the demographic WWE's losing. The 18 to 49-year-old who's wanting to watch something different, and they're getting that on AEW. And you have to wonder, at what point what's the tipping point for WWE to make a decision to do something different? I have to wonder that. I mean, because you can't keep going the way you're going. You've got to do something different at some point. So I think, is this an opportunity for WWE to do something different? Maybe. Is it an opportunity for WWE to go out there and, maybe reach a new audience? Maybe, but we have to know, what are they able to do? Right now, I don't think they can, because their writing and storytelling has been absolute garbage.
It's not even up to a standard where you can, like, mainstream media. You need to kind of get people in that zeitgeist. That's the thing. It's like the Attitude Era worked because it connected so well with the zeitgeist. You had, like, the shows of the time, people getting into stuff. Wrestling was still just got popular. WCW was a big help for that year. But then you had, like, Stone Cold Steve, like The Rock on Saturday Night Live, started to do the films. Steve Austin's doing all these other things. Like, they were all over the shop. They were involved. They were part of the part of show business. They were show business.
Yeah.
So when that slowly fades away, and they're trying to cling on to that, it's like, it doesn't work as well, because you're not part of it. I mean, they are, but not to the degree they were. People not looking up to WWE. They're not side by side. It's still, like, looking down. John Cena's a big deal, but he broke off. He went to Hollywood, and then he got a big deal. It wasn't the other way around. They weren't on the talk shows. They weren't on Saturday Night Live because they were in films doing that. They were on Saturday Night Live and got films and done shows because we're WWE, because we're big. They were the show in town. So that's how The Rock got where he was.
Right.
He wasn't a film star before he went to WWE. No, he was a film star because of WWE.
Right.
And that's what they need. That's how they need to kind of transition that. They need to make film stars, but not bring. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah.
I know what you mean.
They are the show. They need to be back. To get back there is so difficult now that it's lightning in a bottle. You'll never get that again.
Right. And I mean, I think we've seen that WWE is not trying to build superstars who are bigger than the brand.
They're just building the brand.
They want to build the brand, but that's the whole point. That's what built the brand to begin with, was having guys like John Cena and having guys like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, who became bigger than the brand, but still brought people to your brand. I mean, think about the amounts of people that showed up to WWE for things because they saw The Rock in movies, and vice versa. And John Cena. I mean, the fact that John Cena now has his own HBO series, for this Peacemaker character from, that, you can't tell me he didn't do such a good job of that. They were like, hey, we're going to make a Peacemaker miniseries that we're putting on HBO.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, what happens? He pops up on WWE programming, and they get a boost. The Rock shows up in programming, they get a boost. I mean, look at the first SmackDown on Fox. Rock is on there, opening segment. How big was that? Huge numbers.
Huge.
And then, of course, it tanks from that point forward. But The Rock is on the show. And, I mean, the numbers are massive. You can't tell me that. I mean, that's the biggest other problem is Vince doesn't want to lose control. And so, therefore, he doesn't want to build somebody bigger than the brand. And we're not going to see that. I mean, then that's the problem. You want to save WWE, allow guys to do this. So, all right, it's an hour 30. It's 11:33.
Yeah, we should power through this.
Yeah, I've got a fundraiser. I gotta go shower and shit. So let's finish this up. So let's wrap this up. We can't fix WWE's problems. We can just lament about it, and we can go forward from there and just hope for the best. So,
next segment after that was Sheamus versus Cesaro. Big meaty man slapping meat. It's good. It was a good match. I could have this on pay-per-view all day long.
Oh yeah, I love this match. It was so good. I mean, hello, it's Sheamus versus Cesaro. We've seen it before. I'll see it again. Fuck yeah. I mean,
the ending was like
this is follow up. If you didn't watch last week, Cesaro faced Ridge Holland, and Cesaro won. And so it's now
Sheamus is my friend now.
Yeah, which there you go. You got your winter is coming. So it's kind of like now the mentor is showing the mentee how to beat Cesaro, kind of thing.
This could have been a pay-per-view match easily.
Yeah.
Oh man, like they could have had a big story about this. Maybe they come together. Maybe this is where it's going to lead to, which would be banging. But the ending for this was the one that hit home for me, where this should have been a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
When like Cesaro was screaming in his face, saying, "You're nothing like Ridge. You held me back. You kept me down." And Cesaro just gets up and grabs, like, "You were a brother to me." I was like, "Oh, here we go. That's all I want. A little bit of connective tissue, a little bit of drama. Good match, good bit of storytelling. That's all I want." And it was so nicely done. I was like, that's a moment where I wish I had watched that on pay-per-view.
Right.
Where this whole thing, you played it out, and then it was just like the crux of the matter.
Right.
Deep down. One saw it one way, the other saw it another.
I also, though, it could have been a pay-per-view match, but I also enjoyed it, the fact that they did put it on, SmackDown, because let's be honest, we need some good matches. Sometimes we need that. That's the thing about Fox. You're on Fox, you're on free TV on Friday night prime time. Sometimes you need that big match to show this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
This is where we need to be. This is the type of show we want to put on. You need that big program to have people watch and stay for that back half hour or whatever, that second hour or whatever it is you need to do. This is the thing you need to do it with. And that is why I was okay with this. I agree with you. On paper, this is a pay-per-view match. On paper, this is a banger. But at the same time, too, I'm okay with it being where it was, because I was like, we need matches like this on Friday Night SmackDown, because we had to be beefy guys on Viking Raiders, fight Los Lotharios, and they did not get it done. No. I like the big beefy guys. I want to see them do their thing. Who doesn't? And yet at the time, we don't get that. Earlier we didn't get that. So in a return, we see two of the strongest guys in WWE
just
go after
go for it.
And they do such a great job of it. Like, that's the thing. This was not like, we had the best of 7 series with these guys, and yet in the same time, I was like, okay, I'm liking this. I want to keep watching it. I want to keep watching them do that, because they highlighted their things, but still it was a different match than anything they've done before. And I enjoyed it. And this goes back to that AEW being real. This looked like a fight. It's kind of like they say on Bruce Pritchard's show, like, that's bullshit, but that's real. Like, this looked real. This looked good. And
you could see their relationship play out a little bit. The emotion was there, and that's when the whole screaming match happened, which is brilliant. And that's maybe why I'm like, I could be pay-per-view. But then you're right. I think this is exactly the sort of stuff it needs, and it works great for Ridge Holland too, because there's an end game in this, and he's going to look smashing out of this. Either he's going to be teaming up with Sheamus, or they all come together. So there's another stable now.
Right.
It's like
Which
guys.
nobody said them being a trio.
Yeah,
Or somebody mentioned that. Sonic, sorry. They should be a trio. Yeah, I mean,
that would be brilliant. Or even like after all of that, Ridge just takes out Sheamus and stands on his own 2 feet, like I've just used you to get my spot on the roster. Thank you very much. Moving on. So the world's his oyster. So it's great for Ridge. This match, strange. Also, Ridge watching TV normally.
Yeah,
brilliant, man. The man's a made man.
Yeah.
Looked like he was enjoying a bit too much from Lincoln, but he got there. So it was great for him. Yeah. So good for him. Good for Ridge for that match. Great for Sheamus and Cesaro. I could watch that all day long. I hope this plays off into day one. I think there's going to be a match out of that.
Yeah, which I love. I love Sonic's note. Somebody snuck a wrestling match into Vince's notes.
How'd this get here? Damn
it! yeah.
Don't worry. He got his fill at the end after this anyway. So don't worry, Vince. He was made happy after this anyway.
Yeah.
Because it was the main event straight after this. Sami Zayn came out. He was saying, I'm going to be Universal Champion. Wanted to thank Brock Lesnar for encouraging me to do this. Brock comes out. And then Sami just talked himself into a corner.
Mm-hmm.
I will be Universal Champion. And listen, it'd be great if I'm not saying you to help me. I mean, but you know what I'm saying, no? I know you're a fight for helping. I know you're not coming out to help me, it probably would be the best thing for you to do to help me if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying, right? Mm-hmm. I will be Universal Champion, and it's probably better if I am because it means you'll get a better night's work. It'll be easier for you if I'm, which is very noble of him, very humble of him. You're like it'll be an easy night's work for you if you beat. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Let's face it, your record with Roman Reigns isn't great.
Oh, yeah.
Oopsie doos. It's like, yeah, I mean, come on, he's had you a few times, but I'm not saying you're bad. I don't say you can't be. I'm just saying, he's not wrong based on the statistics. Yeah, it's better if he is facing Sami Zayn, but Brock's not here for Zayn. He's not here because of that. He doesn't want these nights. He wants Roman's head, and to get Roman's head was to get you out the way, Sami. Can't believe you didn't work that shit out. And so basically, Brock Lesnar just smashes him.
Yeah.
Beats him to death.
Prolonged what we wanted in the first segment all the way to the last segment.
That's what made it so good, though. It's just despite that, he just never clicked. He just never latched on, and he paid the price dramatically. Got battered, suplexed, couple F5s, even listened to the crowd when they wanted another one. They were out for blood, took him down, and then done this great thing where he picked up Zayn and just stood him in the corner and walked away.
Yeah,
Zayn's just standing there wrecked, and then of course, and they're like, "Oh my god, Roman's just gonna have." What about? And this not about. There's none of this. Oh my god, what about the match today? What about the match? It's like, oh my god, this match is happening though.
Yeah.
No one cares. It's like, oh, he's on his feet. Oh, we gotta get the ref doing his best Dan Murgliata impression. If you watched the boxing last week in that triangle ring, know exactly what I'm on about. Where he was just dazed. Did you watch any of that? It was like what was it? I won't talk too much about it, but it was Frank Mir was fighting Kubrat Pulev in this triad combat thing. It was like a triangle ring. Kubrat Pulev in the first round caught him with this brilliant right hand, then hit him with a left hand uppercut, and Frank Mir had the proper Mortal Kombat animation standing days. He's gone. He's out for the count. And Pulev thought he won it, standing back. And Dan Murgliata was like, come on, guys. What's happening? He didn't make the move. He was like, he looked like he was ready for them to engage. And then Pulev took 2 steps. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I better stop the match. So I don't know what he saw, but he didn't see it. It didn't make sense. But anyway, it was relevant to this because Sami Zayn's totally knackered. Like if you're the referee, you're like, yeah, we're not having this match. He's not fit. But no, Roman Reigns comes out. Zayn's still standing there, does his pose and everything, spear, and then just for added gloss, chokes him out.
Yeah, just that was it was an interesting choke because it wasn't quite a guillotine. He had him over his knee, kind of and it was just kind of like, okay, all right, and just beat the shit out of Sammy. Poor Sammy, just got the shit beat out of him all night.
Yeah,
you know.
But I can see where when I can't remember who was speaking on behalf of Hammy Media Group. Someone was though, and said that people were upset because it thought they buried him. But this is where I disagree, because like Sammy played this perfectly. Like his ego got the best of him. He thought, "Oh my God, Brock has got." He thought, "Oh no, I'm getting threatened to do this. I shouldn't really do this." Brock's got my back though.
Right.
Hey, if I can help Brock help me, great. It's like that sort of like, it doesn't matter if I lose to Brock at day one.
Right.
All that matters is that I win and I'm the champ. That's all he's at. I don't care how I do it. So he's been talked into it, and then he realizes the potential advantage of it, and it got used against him. And he plays it so well. It's nothing to do with like burying Sami Zayn. He played his part to perfection.
As the roadblock, as Brock Lesnar basically is like,
it's the foil. Yeah,
you gotta get it. I gotta get you out of the way to get to Roman, and essentially is what it was. And Elizabeth, Sammy timed out by smacking Roman's ass. Like, yeah,
he did.
He did. I was talking about, that if that doesn't make some kind of internet, fan fiction porn thing, I don't know.
Yeah, because we've got to remember, he's a heel. His job is to. He's been out heeled. He's a heel in a sense where we want to see him fail.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing him the person. I mean the character. It's like he's annoying. He gets in his people. He's got this illusion that he's a locker room leader. He's a conspiracy. He's so annoying. Oh man. He's won the number one contendership. Oh man. Brock Lesnar. Oh man. He beats him up. Like it's good because it's the kind of character you want to see this happen to.
You wonder how Brock was going to be involved, because Sammy now wins the number one, and you're like, Brock's coming back, and so you had a week of anticipation of what's Brock going to do, and you expected in that first opening segment that at some point he was just going to beat the shit out of Sammy, and there were times where it looked like he was, but then he didn't, and then he gets to the main event, he talks him into it. And then all of a sudden they're in main event time, and then he beats the shit out of him. And
it becomes clear.
Yeah.
Crystal clear what's going on.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just like, so I agree with you. The Sammy's the annoying heel. Brock is the vicious heel. And
he's not healing this, is he? He's like the babyface.
Well,
but the playoff Brock's ruthlessness to do that. I think that's what makes it even better. Like we talked about Steve Austin being a badass in the Attitude Era. This is Brock being a badass. We want to cheer for him right now. But Brock's got his ways.
Right.
Brock's got a Brock. And it's the right guy for Brock to Brock on for us to cheer Brock.
Right. And I mean, let's be honest. This doesn't hurt Sammy in the long run, because he shows great character work this whole night through this thing. If nothing, I respect Sami Zayn more for the work that he did tonight than any other time, in the last few weeks. Like, whereas it's almost X-Pac heat turned the channel heat when he was coming on. This tonight made me appreciate Sami Zayn as a character way more than anything in the last, 3 to 4 months that he's been doing. And so I really, really liked this. He was so good on this, especially tonight. It made me really appreciate him as a character. And when he leaves, because I know his contract he's not renewing, and I know Kevin Owens, when he leaves, it just makes me look forward to what he can really do, what he has in mind. Because let's be honest, this thing that he's been doing right now is chicken shit, and he's been doing it. He's been doing his best to make it good. I want to see when he's with something that he enjoys and he puts his mind to, and that he has creative control. Like, let's be honest. The whole El Generico thing was fucking brilliant. I loved it. I thought it was great. I enjoyed the El Generico stuff. I want to see what he could do with something like that, where it's his thing, his idea, and he comes out and he deals with it. I want to watch that and watch what he can do as a character now, especially having watched, this whole thing with Brock and this whole storyline. So
we got the best of Sami Zayn tonight.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, like I said, I haven't been a huge Sami Zayn fan, but this made me appreciate him more, to where, like, when he leaves, I want to see what he can do. And that's the important part. I think that's the thing, is in an unintentional way, WWE actually made me care about him more than burying him tonight. And
I think I actually proved my point about Shayna Baszler as well. It's like, look, you can lose And it's fine if you do it good and you have a story behind it, or you have some kind of like approach that makes sense, that works for everyone. You can lose and you don't look bad. Brock Lesnar can kill people. We know this. We know that Brock Lesnar's a destroyer. And we know Sami Zayn, when he gets in his ego, can be a bit vulnerable and not realize it. And we use those two things that work. Like what his strength and his what things that are good about him got played against him.
Mm-hmm.
Paid the price tonight. That's all I want. That's all I need. It worked really well. And now we've got Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns $1 million on day one. My only issue is like we're having this again, but maybe we'll get if this happens at WrestleMania, I'll be angry. Because we're playing it out a little bit more. You can't just keep having this match now up until WrestleMania. You can only play the Brock card so many times.
Yeah,
You're
but
running
I mean that's the question. So do you have? So let's say you do day one. Do you have Brock win and then Roman comes back at WrestleMania and it's Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania with Brock as the champion and and turning
come
maybe
this far though.
Yeah, I don't
come
know.
this far with Reigns as champ. I was like, why you haven't dropped the belt now?
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. Like I this is one of those things of okay, you brought Brock back because Roman is run through everybody, but at the same time too, at what point does Roman just lose the belt? I mean, I know there was talk of he was supposed to be taking a break or something in the next at some period of time in the next few months. Which whether that's true or not, I don't know.
I think if it happens, it has to happen on as big a stage as possible, and we've got to make someone. Because if we're doing all this stuff with Brock and we're seeing that Roman Reigns is still getting up top, someone has to get made out of this. We can't just blow it away on Brock. No, I love Brock, but like it's like the streak. Brock didn't necessarily need it.
Right.
We could have made someone. It could have been Randy Orton. It could have been CM Punk.
True.
It could have been who else did you face? Like it could have been any up-and-comer. Like Randy Orton's probably the biggest regret, the Undertaker. It could have been him. But like, and it could be the same with this. It's like if Brock Lesnar wins the championship, we could be looking at Drew McIntyre, even though he's been a made man before, but we're looking at a Drew. We could look at anyone on the roster who's got a main event.
Yeah.
Cesaro.
Yeah.
There we go. Throw a name out there that who could have been. I don't want to be looking at this run of Roman Reigns and thinking 5-10 years from now going, could have been this guy. Probably should have, like, it could have been. I don't want to be like that. I want it to be, they made someone out of this. They made the next guy out of this feud. It has to be worth this now. For me, it's like you can't just have a blow away title win. AEW as example, Kenny Omega had that title for a year. And we kind of knew that it was going to be Adam Page that wins it.
Right.
They made man out of that though. There's no could have been. It's like we made Adam Page out of that. We hit the precipice at the right time. He'll be main eventing for AEW now for as long as they want to do it. WB could do that with someone. Make someone do that. So I'm not saying don't give it to Brock. I am. Don't give it to Brock. Give it to someone on as big a stage as possible. So when Roman Reigns goes away, so if he loses and takes a break or whatever, they're going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about. The next guy's here.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the hard part is, if Drew couldn't beat Roman, but he could beat Brock, and then like you go back to Brock is a force unto himself. Like, so how do you justify anybody in the roster beating Brock when they couldn't beat Roman? You know what I mean? Like, that's where I kind of go, I get it. That's where I think like a Money in the Bank or Royal Rumble, like, kind of like a Money in the Bank kind of thing, where you give it to someone where Roman and Brock have an absolute fucking war, and then that person comes in and just, steals it. That's kind of the thing. I don't know, but yeah, like Elizabeth said, it's only ever going to be Brock or Drew, but because let's be honest, who else is there? Sheamus? You're not going to give it to Sheamus. Cesaro? They didn't do that. I mean, people have been crying for years and they're not listening. They're not giving Cesaro a shot. They're going to keep him as a good working mid-carder. I can't think of anybody else on the SmackDown roster who would challenge Roman or Brock for that. For that title. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
It's a weird situation to be in now. That we can't really work it out. Be interesting to see where we go with it.
Yeah.
We've got a long time ago. We've got 3 more SmackDowns before day 1. Or 4 more SmackDowns before.
4. I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm thinking Saturdays rather than Fridays. But who knows? I feel like it's a crucial time. We've got to get here before Christmas, because Christmas can be a bit hazy now and again.
Right.
So
yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. Good place to call it, I think.
Yeah.
Not a bad SmackDown. Quite a lot of positives. Not the best SmackDown, but we're in the right direction. We're going the right way. We've got plans in place. So let's hope we can carry that on. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Anything you want to add before we go, or are we
No, just want to, just remind everybody, I know it's Christmas and some people like Christmas, some don't like Christmas, or holidays, whatever you want to do. Just remember, not only during this time of year, but every time of year, try to be kind to everybody. I know we're going through a lot of bullshit, through different things, and whether we agree on things or not. But the whole point is that at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. We're all humans working together. Just love on each other. I know I might seem a little distracted, but my job's popped in. Somebody messaged us as I'm getting ready to go do a fundraiser about a thing. So I'm not trying to be dismissive, but at the same time, sometimes work steps in and I have to answer things on the fly. But
answer the call.
Yeah, I have to answer the call. But again, thanks everybody for being in the chat. I love you guys. Y'all are always great. You make the show that much better. Don't forget about the Twitter contest. And like I said, if you don't have Twitter, email us at least with the show, where you listen from, and at least email us maybe 3 things that you would want to see SmackDown do differently, Candace Spaceman, same thing. Love you guys too in a very heterosexual, manly way, especially the ladies. Hello. Yeah. But James can't say that because he's taken. So,
I am.
Yeah.
Hey, I can still appreciate. I can still like, yeah, I can still pop my chest out. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to enjoy the attention.
Which is very funny because, like, when I was married, people, it'd be like, man, she's pretty good looking. They're like, well, how can you say that? You're married. I'm like, what? That would be like me owning a Mona Lisa in my house, but then going to the Louvre and not looking at any pieces of paintings because I own a Mona Lisa. Well, I can appreciate good art. I can appreciate a beautiful woman, even though I'm still married or taken. It doesn't mean I'm like completely cut off, but it's not like I'm not like gonna go get her number. I can just be like, wow, she's a good looking woman.
You can window shop.
You can be like, hey, that's wow, she's looking. I mean, there were times where my ex would be like, damn, she's looking good. I'm like, yes, I am a warm-blooded man. I'm going to change that warm to hot-blooded man. Let's be honest with you right now. I'm a hot-blooded man.
Beware of traps, though. Beware of traps, because I remember we were sitting through watching Selling Sunset. Worth watching if you're into that sort of stuff. And like one of the women in it, she went, "Oh my god, look at her arse!" I was like, "I know." What? Oh, yeah.
No. That was never an issue.
Drop the ball.
That was never an issue with my ex. If my ex said it, it was like, okay, cool.
It's fair game. It is fair game.
And I mean, she would, and it was never to be a trap. It was like, wow, that's impressive. Like, of course, she was a fitness instructor and she worked out. So if my wife is pointing out something like somebody's ass or their boobs or something like that, then it's like she's impressed because she works out and she knows what it takes to get that kind of figure. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, so it was never, it was always she was impressed because she knows what it takes. So I never had that issue of, it's a trap. I never had that Akbar moment.
Well, I think my mistake was how I said it.
Oh, okay.
I think it was, yeah. I was like, I maybe enjoyed it a little bit too much, and then I was like,
you did the creepy. You did the creepy.
Dropped the ball. Yeah, it was a bit.
Whereas me, I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, hey, thanks for pointing that out. I mean, I would say that some of the times, like, hey, thanks for pointing that out. She goes, oh, yeah, I figured you'd like that. I mean, but that's even now, like, even though she's my ex and she's crazy and she has an OnlyFans page, so if you want to see what my ex looks like and has an OnlyFans page, I could dox that for you, but you have to find me on Twitter and PM me. I'm not going to put that out here like that. I'm not going to do that for you. Or I can at least give you. easily give you her Instagram handle, and then that has all of her links to her OnlyFans pages and other things. So if you want to see what I was rolling with as an ex-wife and all that fun stuff, what the hell? PM me and I'll give you that information. PM me. I don't care.
That's a weird flex.
Yeah, I know, right? I know it is a weird flex.
I'm saying it out.
Whatever. I'm in a goofy mood already. So
anyway, fair enough then. So on that note, then, thanks for watching the show. If you again join the competition, go on to Twitter right now at Smack Atack HMG. It's a pinned tweet. Like it. Quote tweet it, follow us on Twitter, send us a photo of how you watch the show, tag people that you think should watch the show. It's as easy as that. And in 2 weeks' time, you might be on this show with us, reviewing SmackDown for better or for worse, talking all the nonsense as part of the crew. You'll be an honorary member of the hosting staff for that show. So do it. Make it worth our while. In the meantime, you can email us as well, smackattackhammermedia@gmail. smackattackhammermedia@gmail.com.
Right
you
here,
can email us there as well. It's right down in the ticker below. And I'm going to try and put it in the description because I keep forgetting to do that. So get on there as well. Where we listen to podcasts, Hammy Media Affiliates channel, add Hammy Media Group. There's so many great podcasts, the Academy podcast, NFO, Rad Rob's Retro podcast. There's loads there. Get involved. Channel Attitude, if you're not involved on that, go to the website now, channelattitude.com. Subscribe to wherever you like. If you follow Hammy Media Group, follow us on Hammy Media Group. If you like some more comedy things, there's great stuff there. If you lean more towards the brand guys over there, subscribe to them. It's a smorgasbord of content. Get your fill. Go follow them there. Go and listen. And thank you for supporting us. If you are a listener on Channel Attitude, it's great that you're spending the time putting us in your ears, watching us the video. It's greatly appreciated. Please keep doing it and support us. And let us know if you are. If you are listening to this right now, get in touch with these messages. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to know about you and get you in the chat, get you involved. We love it when you do. So please get involved. So thank you so much. Thank you, John. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Great talking to you. Highlight of my weekend when we do this sometimes.
Yep.
Thank you to the live chat. You've been lively as ever. I love it. It's great to have you back. I've missed you for the past couple of weeks. And we'll be back at this again. We've got 3 more to go. 2 more before the Christmas special, and then we're there. So let's get on it. Push on. We're going to have a great time between now and the new year as we're straight on to next week for another edition of the Smack Attack. Cheery!